everybody, and welcome to the Two Player Podcast with Matt Likes Games and Ham Solo. Enjoy the show. And welcome to the Two Player Podcast with Matt Likes Games and Hamathy Solo. Enjoy the show.
All right, hello everybody, and welcome back for another episode of the Two Player Podcast. I was about to do my intro for my videos. Goddamn. Welcome back for another episode of the Two Player Podcast with myself, Matt Likes Games, and Ham Solo. I know, let's actually, before we get into that, because I know we have topics and everything, I was about to just hop right in, honestly, because I saw it right here. But we got to talk about what we've been playing first, what we've been up to. What have you been playing, Ham? Let them know what you've been playing, what you've been up to, what's been going on.
As for me, I've been mostly just playing let's see, a little bit of. Oh, I guess we haven't played Remnant in like a week.
Yeah, we need to play Remnant.
I've been playing a lot of Call of Duty and Halo because of their freaking legacy packs that they've been having as of lately has been ridiculous.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
It's been absolutely it's ridiculous just the play on nostalgia this year.
Yeah. It's nostalgia heavy year for sure. For sure. Lil Satan, thank you for stopping by. Goddamn. He says, loving the podcast and all the content coming from you guys recently. Very wholesome and inspiring to listen to two cool dudes talking about our favorite passion. Thank you very much, sir.
That's phenomenal.
It is. It is, man. I'm keep going though. I'm sorry I cut you off there.
Oh, I played some yesterday. I played some NCAA 14. I just got a new TV and a new TV stand, so I pretty much
talk about it.
Yeah, I had to hook that all up last night, and that was a pain in the butt.
Yeah,
that one was a real pain in the butt. Yeah, so I got all that hooked up. Man, this TV has amazing sound. I actually have the exact same TV Matt has because he recommended it to me. I checked into it, and it was crazy because once I started looking at the TV, I started hearing things everywhere about it. And in fact, I even seen a post on Twitter from the horrible IGN. They actually recommended the TV as well. So I was just like, geez Louise, everybody's recommending this damn TV.
It's like an IGN stamp of approval or something.
Yeah, I don't need that. But it was just interesting to see that they're just like thinking and saying the same stuff that I've been seeing and hearing. So it was just kind of cool.
Yeah, man. That TV is phenomenal. And Ham said like it's the same TV as mine. Like I haven't had this TV for long. Like I got it. Like Ham, I think you ordered yours the day I got mine. I think is what happened. Like officially
Either
got
that or
mine.
the day after. I
Yeah,
think you
so
had
it's
yours
like
the day after.
I only had my TV for like a day. But dude, that TV, like you mentioned, the sound on that TV is nuts. By the way, it's the Hisense. I got a 55-inch U7K model. If you're interested in that, I think it's like $480 plus tax. Came out for me like 518. Just really good deal
Yeah, I
for
had a
for that
$25
TV.
gift card and I got it for 488.
Yeah, that's a stupid good deal. Like like Starfield looks amazing. Like it looked great on my last TV, but it looks much. But like the HDR is just much clearer. Like it's a lot more detail that I can see that wasn't there on my last TV. And then the sound, it's not even close. The way that TV sounds is just kind of silly, honestly.
Yeah,
Uh,
it's really nice. It has two 2.1 plugins.
mm-hmm.
So if you have
Important.
both Xbox and a PS5,
Yep.
you're covered 4K up to 120 hertz.
And if you got
Uh,
PC, you go up to 144.
exactly. And yeah, if you have a PC, yeah, up to 144, which is pretty dope as well. And or excuse me, and then the subwoofer in the back, like Matt was just talking about, was phenomenal. And then
Yes,
on
it
top
is.
of all of that, it has a whole lot of options that you can do stuff to mess with your picture, turn on Dolby Vision, turn off Dolby Vision. It just has it's just fully loaded for the price. It's really good, and yeah, check out the reviewers for yourself if you're uncertain about it. But
Hmm.
it's been recommended all over the place from what I've been looking at,
Yeah,
even from Digital Trends, which is the first video I watched for it, and that dude was raving.
that dude was excited about that too. He was loving it. He couldn't believe himself. Stanley Francois, Lady Foxfire, thank you all for stopping by. It's very much appreciated. But I mean, as for myself, I mean, we talked about the TV and everything, but what I've been playing, I've been going back and trying everything on this TV. I played Starfield. I'm playing Crew Motorfast, Forza Horizon 5. Like I'm all over the place. Dead Space remake. I booted that up. Looks amazing. Sounds amazing on the TV. You could see here I'm got some gameplay Dead Space remake going. I mean, Immortals of Avium. I'm all over the place playing games as of late. Uh, but yeah, man, it's been fun. Halo, like Ham mentioned, they just did the Halo 3 Refueled, which we'll be talking about a little bit during the show later. But that's been great. Call of Duty, of course. I mean, it's a lot of stuff. But
Right.
as for what I've been playing, that's about it. But we can hop into the big main topic we're going to talk about, because this one's going to cover a lot of time, I feel like, and we're going to try to push through it. But it's the Game Awards nominees, and there's obviously a lot of different categories here. But the big one we'll start there. Game of the Year nominees are Alan Wake 2, Baldur's Gate 3, Marvel's Spider-Man 2, Resident Evil 4 Remake, Super Mario Brothers Wonder, Legend of Zelda: Tears of the Kingdom. What are your thoughts reading that list for the Game of the Year?
Most of those are fine, but I mean, we're opening up Pandora's box doing remakes.
Yes, yes, we are.
We're opening up that for sure, and I don't know. I just and I think the most like the thing that doesn't make sense the most is there's a new IP that's outselling all of these games.
Yeah.
All of these games, some of them combined.
Oh yeah. Like, so you're saying that I love Alan Wake 2, and it's a phenomenal game. But in terms of if we saw the sales of Alan Wake 2 versus the game you're talking about, I mean, it it wouldn't be close. Even Resident Evil 4 wouldn't be close. Wouldn't be
No,
close.
And
So
those are single, and this is a single player game as well.
yeah. Yep.
Yeah. So obviously, I'm talking about Hogwarts Legacy, and
Hmm.
I would have really liked to see Starfield up there more than Hogwarts Legacy because I like Starfield more.
Sure.
But if I'm just like, putting my blinders away, right?
Yeah.
It's pretty hard to not notice the elephant in the room that got just completely snubbed across the board in every single category, which is insane,
Yeah.
in my opinion.
In fact, let's dive deep into that because we're talking about Game of the Year. Every category, Hogwarts Legacy is not in any of them. It's like the game doesn't exist as far as the Game Awards are concerned, which is wild. Let's say it in the comments. As Spider-Man 2, he has a superhero nerd bias. So I mean, Spider-Man 2 is a great game. Spider-Man 2 is a great game, but I mean, back to Hogwarts getting snubbed everywhere. I mean, listen,
That's a legit problem, in my opinion.
that is because so here's the thing: you beat Hogwarts Legacy. You know how good it is. I played a lot of it. I haven't beat it because it got spoiled for me because I made the mistake of enjoying the game online, and somebody's like, here's the fucking end of the game. Like, thanks. But like, I had it spoiled. I didn't beat it, but just of what I've played, the amount of care they put into that game. The developers, it's for some reason you got to clarify this. Not J.K. Rowling. She had nothing to do with this game. But the developers who put the amount of loving care they put into that game to see it not get nominated for literally anything. It's kind of silly. Like, it's not even in. We'll talk about it later. In fact, fuck it, we'll talk about it now. It's not even in the best RPG category.
Mm-mm.
You got Lies of P in the RPG category.
yeah, make that make sense.
What are we doing? How does that make any sense? I don't know. Like, you beat it, so you got more to say on it than I do. But like, for me, that's just dumb. That's just really dumb. It doesn't. It solidifies why this is. I tune into the Game Awards to see the announcements, and this just kind of solidifies it for me. I just want to see the announcements and let's keep it moving. But yeah, you can go ahead and go in on this.
No, of course, yeah. This is why you end up only tuning in for the announcements because they do stuff year after year that it seems like they didn't run it past anybody to see if it made sense before they did. They just slapped some stuff together and then said, "All right, let's make sure we don't have any sort of problem. So then let's nix a few other things as well." I don't know. It seems like a save face kind of thing to do. Not having Hogwarts Legacy. I wouldn't even say save face as much as it's just kind of cowardly.
Yeah.
I think it's just cowardly. You're saying, hey, I don't want to deal with reality, so I'm gonna pretend it doesn't exist.
Yeah. That's exactly what's happening.
Yeah, exactly. And it's really frustrating because at the same time, it like people are kind of muddying things up because they say protect the developers and let's care about the developers one time, and then you do something like this that just kind of minimizes all the work that they put into this game. And this is a huge game.
Oh yeah.
Like time wise and everything that you spend doing the stuff in it, it's wild, and it's out for every platform from last generation to current generation.
Yep.
And they made it like they did the marvel of making it work on the Switch, dude. Like if you
looking nice.
Yeah, and it looks pretty damn good for what it is. I know some people are dogging on it, but I'm like, yo, this is the Switch. This is a 2017 device trying to keep up with the times, and we already know it's not as strong as the PS4 and Xbox One, and it's still doing that.
Yes.
So, like,
it's impressive.
I don't know how you just look past that and you're just like, it's not a big deal. It's just the most selling game and everywhere, and people were like I showed it on my show yesterday with Loke on the Lowdown. People were selling their consoles and games that they own to purchase this game. This game was sought after super hard. And remember, these developers, the last thing they worked on was cars.
Yep. Mobile games. This is mobile games.
But no, instead, let's just give sequels and remakes the nod for Game of the Year, because new IPs isn't what we've been asking for forever, right?
No.
Let's keep living in yesteryear with and not move forward and then wonder why half the time we hear from people saying, "Oh, there's stagnation in gaming," because no one's allowing anybody to move on. Every time we try to move on, it's complain. I don't like it. Let me get a remake of this. I mean, look at this is exactly why PlayStation fans and stuff like that are getting remakes of shit that just came out a couple years ago.
Yeah.
You know, you can't complain about something and then turn around and then beg for it. It doesn't make any sense.
It doesn't. Lady Foxfire in the chat says Final Fantasy 16 is in the RPG, but everyone tells me it's more like DMC. I haven't played. You've played Final Fantasy 16, so you have a better idea.
Yeah, a little bit. It is, but I could see why it's still in the RPG thing. Like I said, it's just the Liza P thing, just kind of
same.
Like even if Final Fantasy strayed a little bit away from its, RPG roots that they are known for, it's still more of an RPG any day of the week over Liza P, which is literally not an RPG. It's literally not an RPG.
It's got like if Liza P is an RPG, then I wonder
why not put Spider-Man down there.
Yeah, it's got like the thing is they're making this whole thing like, oh, it's got RPG elements. It's an RPG. It's not. Oh. It just has RPG elements, and that's fine, but it doesn't make it that. It's just a very small portion of the game. It's not a role playing game. Liza P, Spider-Man 2, Horizon, like these aren't role playing games. But like I don't know. I feel like it's obvious that like Hogwarts deserves to be there. And like Ham said, I feel like it's kind of just a cop out. And here's the thing. I get the cop out on a corporate level, on like Jeff Keighley's like wavelength of thinking of like, oh, if I put this in my show, then it's gonna be a lot of negative backlash. Like, sure, I get it, whatever, but like, dude, this is why no one takes you so seriously. Like, if that's your thinking, fine, whatever, but just know that nobody takes it too seriously. Like, unless me as a fan, I'm speaking just for myself, I could give a shit about, like, the only game I've been invested in winning Game of the Year recently was Elden Ring last year. I really wanted that to see that win because it made me play a style of game that I hated. In fact, that game made me get into that so much that I went out and bought all the other games in that style of game, and I was like, oh, I still hate these. I still hate these. So it's like, that's why I was so pushing so much for Elden Ring to win. But like this year, yeah, it would be cool to see Starfield there, but it's like I kind of expected Starfield wasn't going to make it. It's not for the Game Awards. Like, I'm honestly surprised. Well, I guess I'm not really surprised because Baldur's Gate 3 is kind of a phenomenon. But I'm very surprised Resident Evil 4 is there. But like, I was expecting the Starfield snub. I was fully expecting that. I was not expecting Resident Evil 4 to be in its place. That is what it is. But you were talking about Hogwarts Legacy, and what was funny about that this whole year was like, especially when it came out, was people like, oh, like giving the developers shit, saying don't play the game, you're evil if you play the game, and it was like, you know the developers have come out and protest against everything that was said by J.K. Rowling, and it's like, oh well, if they really are against what she was saying, then they would refuse to work on the game. Do you know how dumb that is? You understand? Like, say I'm a developer and I get tasked with, oh, you're working on Hogwarts Legacy. It's like, I don't agree with what J.K. Rowling said. I have no problem saying that she stinks, she sucks, she's an old hag. I have no problem saying that. But if my boss tells me you're working on Hogwarts Legacy in the game industry, it's like, oh, okay, let's say I quit. Then what? Because I mean, you see what's happening this year with all the layoffs. You're just gonna willingly quit your job. You're just gonna willingly forfeit your income because you disagree with J.K. Rowling. It's like, it's not that easy. You can't just do that. So like this whole idea, like, oh, if they were really against it, they would have refused to work. That's insane. That's dumb. That's something I've seen this year that really bothered me too. But
yeah,
it's
like Loke said, if we're doing that, then we can't stop at J.K. Rowling.
Mm-hmm.
We have to pull everybody's card for every game, all the time.
Yeah,
really. So we're still fine with the creator for near like Automata and stuff like that for his crazy shit. I know he quit recently, or didn't quit, but he is stepping down from Platinum.
Oh yeah.
But
yeah.
But y'all had nothing to say about him. He was mad disrespectful.
He went out of his way to be disrespectful, like at every chance he got. He didn't care.
Was mad disrespectful. Nobody said don't buy his stuff. Don't worry. See, just people select and choose what they want to stand for, and it just kind of gets on my damn nerve because it's just like I don't really understand what you're really trying to do.
Yeah.
Like, you want people to be happy, but you want people to only be happy your way.
Yeah.
Instead of just like falling back and just, letting people do what they got to do. I mean, I swear, if you looked into anybody's job, you'll find a piece of shit somewhere.
For sure. 100%.
You'll find a piece of shit somewhere. And if you look at your own job's history, not probably the best.
Mm-hmm.
Not probably the best. Yeah, a bunch of people working on a game that had nothing to do with the actual book. That they're literally just working on a game.
Yeah,
it's not a big deal to me, man.
It's really not.
I mean, like I said, it's just the fact of the matter is they put so much damn hard work and time into this. Like, I just can't understand in the future as things continue to progress if they're able. And Loke told me this yesterday, and this kind of blew my mind. And I was like, I'm 100% behind you on this. If they can snub a game, then they can get a game to win.
Oh, 100%. And I feel like, granted, I haven't followed the Game Awards forever, but like, there's been certain years where I'm like, oh, I'm kind of interested. I'm a little bit interested in whatever happens. Like Red Dead 2 versus God of War 2018. God of War 2018 was phenomenal. Don't even get me wrong. That game was phenomenal. But Red Dead 2 is legit a once-in-a-generation thing. If you're lucky. That deserves to win. That deserves to win for me. Also, there was a game I can't even remember. Overwatch beat fucking Uncharted 4. What are we talking? What are we doing? How? How's that happen? I. Oh, you're muted. You're muted. I think.
No, I'm saying just in case Matt thought y'all was being biased about Sony. There you go.
Yeah, like to Uncharted 4 versus Overwatch. What are we talking about? It's not even a contest. But like
Uncharted 4 is legendary.
it's
Overwatch isn't even a game anymore.
dude, the community can't stand Overwatch.
No. The original Overwatch is not even a game anymore.
Oh yeah, that's true. Because now it's Overwatch 2.
Right. And they force everybody off of that supposed great. I'm sure it was a great game for it, and I know Cozy loved that game.
Yeah,
But
sure.
I'm just saying, like, it's such a good game to win Game of the Year, but it can't even stay around as its own game.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just to me that's that's fishy, because that's gonna forever be in the list of Game of the Year, but no one will ever be able to play that game.
Yep. Like a game that is in the business of staying around because it's a live service. Like that's the thing. You're supposed to stay around because you're a live service. Like as far as granted, I never got into Overwatch, but for me, Uncharted 4, as long as the multiplayer is still on Uncharted 4, I think it has more staying power than Overwatch for me. I know it does for me. But like I don't know. That's just silly. Mike says Pornhub versus Tomb Raider. I don't remember that year, but that is an interesting battle, honestly. But yeah, I'll say so. Out of these Game of the Year contenders, who do you think wins this year?
Baldur's Gate 3.
Baldur's Gate 3.
It had the same feeling as Elden Ring, even though I hadn't played it. I mean, the amount of news and people surprised and having such a good time playing it reminded me exactly of Elden Ring. So if that game doesn't take it, and let's say Resident Evil takes it,
Oh Jesus!
I'm not gonna lose it. I'm not gonna lose it. But I tell you what, I'm definitely not gonna. I don't think I'll be having the same conversation next year. I'll just kind of just drop it. Just be like, all right,
yeah.
it's done. Like,
It's
there's nothing else to talk about here. If Spider-Man wins it, I'll think it's really weird. But to me, that'd be better than
Resident Evil. Yeah.
For sure. But yeah, I'd like to see Baldur's Gate do it just because it's just so sought after. The real game I'd like to see win, if that doesn't win, is probably Zelda.
Okay.
Baldur's Gate doesn't win, I'd like to see Zelda win. Just for the fact that the way they re-innovated that game is leaps and bounds past. I mean, no disrespect, because I enjoyed the game and 100%ed it, but Spider-Man.
Oh yeah.
The way they did
yes.
Tears of the Kingdom, where you can now go through the ceiling. All the map is segmented now, and you're like skydiving from like one area to another. The building pieces where you can put stuff together. You can literally play that game and not do the story for hours.
That's how I play.
And to me, that has a lot more, as you were saying just a little bit ago, staying power.
Yes. Oh yeah. I see. Yeah, if I had to pick a game, like out of the two that are obviously probably going to win, Baldur's Gate 3 and Legend of Zelda, I'd also say Super Mario Brothers probably could. I wouldn't be too surprised if that pulled it out. We'll say that. But out of the two that we think are going to win is Zelda and Baldur's Gate 3. I would like to see Zelda win it. But, the factors considering, Breath of the Wild won it already. And 2018, I think that was. And Baldur's Gate 3 just is kind of the perfect story where it comes out of nowhere. No one's expecting it. And it's just one of the biggest hits of all time. It just makes sense for that to win. I personally, out of all these, I would like to see Alan Wake 2 win. I just think, I think it does win in any year that Baldur's Gate 3 doesn't exist. Because, like I said, Baldur's Gate 3 is just the perfect story. But Alan Wake 2 was the most video game awards video game you could probably ever imagine. It's
Me, not really. I don't really want Alan Wake 2 to win, and I'll tell you why.
okay.
And it has to do with timing. It doesn't have to do with how good the game.
Okay.
I still advocate that they need to have the Game Awards outside the same year of the games coming out. It makes no sense that we're not even finished with the year. There's still over half a month left, and you're counting it for the whole year. It doesn't make sense. Not even the Super Bowl does their season within the same year because it doesn't make any sense.
Mm-hmm.
Bowl games for football not in the same. A lot of them are after Christmas and stuff like that because it's just, to me, it just makes more sense. You're ushering in a new year.
Okay.
So it's just like having it December 8th, like I remember, what was it? And I'm not sure if this game would have made any categories or whatnot, but like High on Life last year came out like after the Game Award.
Yeah, true.
And it's just like, dude, like that could have possibly been in there for like narrative or something. I don't know. Maybe not at all, right? But just the fact of the matter that
could have been there for indie, for sure. It's an indie game.
Sure. But just the fact of the matter that some games are getting snubbed because they didn't make it in time when they're in the year, like that doesn't make any sense to me. Like the cutoff should be like December 20th, and then they should have the award like January 8th or something like that. You know what I'm saying? Like I don't understand why it's in this. I'll never get why that is what it is.
I bet, but yeah, I agree with you. First of all, I agree with you. I don't think it should be like the 2023 Game Awards should cover all of 2023, like from start to finish. I would bet, or I wonder, if it's again just not thinking like a shitty corporation, like a shitty business model. I'm wondering if it's to do with the fact, oh, this game won Game of the Year. Why don't you buy it for Christmas? Why don't you buy that for Christmas? I feel like there's a lot.
Probably, I mean, that I'm sure it does help with some sales and whatnot, but I don't know. That to me, saying that is excuse me.
Yep.
To me, you saying that is just another kind of point being made that it's just not really
serious.
Doesn't really mean anything.
Yeah.
Can't take it serious.
No,
Another can't take it serious situation, you know, where it's just like, okay, so you're doing this so everybody runs out and buys something before the holidays.
Yep.
So what is this really then? This is an advertisement. That's what it is.
Oh yeah.
It's a big ad.
A huge advertisement. And then we got to see an obligatory Imagine Dragons. I'll tell you what, if they bring out Imagine Dragons this year, bring out anybody but Imagine Dragons, please. Anybody, Jeff.
How about nobody?
Ideally nobody, but don't bring out Imagine Dragons, please. I'm done with that shit. Tired of it. But I mean, yeah, it's that's how I feel. It's not serious. It's not serious. None of these are serious. It's hard to take any of these categories serious. But up next is Best Game Direction. I mean, Alan Wake 2, we'll rattle these off. Alan Wake 2, Baldur's Gate 3, Marvel Spider-Man 2, Super Mario Brothers. Basically, the exact same list, but without Resident Evil 4. So, what do you think wins Best Game Direction out of those? And what do you think got snubbed off of the Game of the Year? And what do you think? Well, one of them we know, but what do you think got snubbed off the Game of the Year and then off of Game Direction?
Well, I already said the one off of Game of the Year. That was Hogwarts Legacy. The one off of Game Direction, I'd say Resident Evil got snubbed off of that one.
Okay.
You want to know why?
Yeah.
Because remake seems to be the direction.
Okay. I mean, it does.
I mean,
Certainly
if we're gonna
seems.
put it in Game of the Year category, I'd say why not? Why isn't Resident Evil 4 or Dead Space in direction?
Yeah.
They're clearly showing you that the direction is old. Look at what the games industry has been doing with Call of Duty, with Fortnite, with Halo. What's the game direction? Nostalgia.
Yeah.
So that's where, yeah, that's where I'm just trying to make things make sense in something that's not really making a whole lot of sense. I guess if they want to talk about nostalgia and they had Mario Wonder on there, which they do, right?
Yep. Super Mario Bros. Wonder.
Well, that makes sense because that game's a remake.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? It's just like, and that just seems to be the whole thing is people just like an old shit.
Yeah. People.
I like old shit too.
It's 100%.
I do, but I have a problem regrading something that's already been graded.
Yes, I get that.
That's what
for
I
sure.
that's kind of what I have a problem with because it's just like I don't have any problem with being like, oh, this is better than last or this doesn't hold up as well, but like still all the same characters, still the same story
Mm-hmm.
for the most part. I mean, Dead Space has some new additions to it. Resident Evil 4 has some new additions to it. Your side character is a lot more into the game and whatnot. But I don't know, man. I don't know. I feel like I'd feel the exact same way if it was like Gears of War or something too, where it's just like I already kind of know the story already. Just because you gave me more guns and like a final different cutscene doesn't really change
Yeah.
too much for me to be like, oh my god, this deserves to be all over the top of something that's new, something that's trying something different.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I just feel like it's kind of a regress for games than it is a progress kind of thing.
Okay, I got you. I asked you what your game of the year snub was. You gave yours, and I didn't give mine. Um, I was fully like I said, I was fully expecting the snub for Starfield. Um, what I think should have been there, like I mean, there's a lot of things that should be there in the place of Resident Evil 4, but for me personally, I put Hi-Fi Rush there because it's new. It's new and it's unexpected. But you know, that's just my opinion. Game direction. Did you give your pick on who wins game direction out of these?
In game direction, I think. Well, I don't think Baldur's Gate's gonna win 2 in a row. I'd definitely say probably Mario Wonder in that one.
Okay. Oh shit! I almost dropped that. Best adaptation. Oh, well, these are just games to movies. Castlevania Nocturne, Gran Turismo, The Last of Us, Super Mario Brothers movie, Twisted Metal. Out of those, which do you think wins best
Oh, easy
adaptation?
Mario, easily Mario in my opinion.
Oh wow, okay, nice. Uh,
Um, Last of Us was cool, but like I had more problems with The Last of Us than I did with Mario or, believe it or not, Twisted Metal. I had more problems with The Last of Us than I did with Twisted Metal.
okay,
I
yeah,
thought Twisted Metal ended up being a pretty good show. It was corny as shit, yeah, but I felt like I don't know, Twisted Metal's kind of corny too, like just the video game and stuff like that. So
hmm
it wasn't as bad as I thought it was going to be. In fact, I was one of the few people to say I don't think it looks too terrible. Remember, Matt and
yeah.
Vinny and you were having a heyday with it, and I was like, I'll still check it out. I think it's kind of interesting.
I still haven't checked it out.
Yeah, I thought it was pretty good. They definitely, kind of did better in some zones. I'm not here to review that completely, but I thought the one that was just taken care of well all around pretty much was Mario. There was still a couple of gripes I had with that movie. Like I thought Peach was way over the top. But especially from needing to be saved all these times. It's like now she don't need no man, so it's kind of weird. Uh, but yeah, I just thought that was better, and I thought it kind of didn't waste your time. It was just a movie. You're in and you're out. You don't have to come back next week and a week after, or watch the next episode and stuff like that. It was just straightforward.
Okay. So you got Super Mario Brothers. I personally, I haven't seen Super Mario Brothers, or I haven't seen all of Super Mario Brothers. I started watching it on one of the streaming services. I can't remember for some reason, but I started watching. I didn't finish it. I go Last of Us. I just feel like there's like a stretch of, I think it was like 3 or 4 episodes where it was just like each one was just better than the last one. So I give it Last of Us. Oh yeah, Stanley Francois in the chat says they need to bring a the Wu Tang game out, or finally announce the damn game. Yeah, I mean
That'd be great.
it'd be nice. It'd be nice to know what that actually is, because from what we understand or what's rumored, it's an RPG.
Right.
But it's like, what the fuck is a Wu Tang RPG? It's like, I kind of want to see it. Yeah, right. It was Liza P. It was the code name for Liza P. That's what it was. It was a stealth attack. But yeah, best art direction: Alan Wake 2, Hi-Fi Rush, Liza P, Super Mario Brothers Wonder, and Legend of Zelda: Tears of the Kingdom. Who do you think takes it?
Say that again for what?
Best art direction:
Oh, can you list those one more time?
Alan Wake 2, Hi-Fi Rush, Liza P, Super Mario Brothers, and Legend of Zelda: Tears of the Kingdom.
Best art direction. Man. I really don't know amongst those.
Damn.
I'm not too. See, this is the category where I felt like Hi-Fi Rush got snubbed. Was this category?
Well, Hi-Fi Rush is there.
Oh, well then Hi-Fi Rush. 100%.
Yeah, Hi-Fi Rush is there.
I didn't hear you say Hi-Fi Rush.
Yeah, Hi-Fi Rush is there. I agree with you on that. I think
that one's easy just for the fact that like dude, that art was a masterpiece. Like having everything work together the way it did.
Yeah.
Going to the beat, like it was just perfect. It was good.
I 1,000% agree. Hi-Fi Rush is my pick out of those. Alan Wake 2 being there is interesting because, I mean, I guess that makes sense. The art direction in that, it's just a super dark fucking game, but it's interesting that it's there, especially right next to Hi-Fi Rush. But yeah, I pick Hi-Fi Rush as well. Best score and music: Alan Wake 2, Baldur's Gate 3, Final Fantasy 16, Hi-Fi Rush, and Tears of the Kingdom. What do you pick out of that?
I pick Hi-Fi Rush again.
Okay. Yeah, I'd probably go with that. Or
the music was the game.
Yes, it was a very, very integral to the game. Then you bring that up, yeah, I think that's kind of the easy choice. Because without the music, that game doesn't exist. So
exactly.
I think that makes the most sense, honestly. This one's interesting. Best audio design. I was kind of surprised to not see Starfield here. But, is what it is. Alan Wake 2, Dead Space, Hi-Fi Rush, Marvel Spider-Man 2 gets the fuck. Okay. All right. Resident Evil 4. And those are your nominees for best audio design. Who do you think wins out of that?
Say the list one more time.
Alan Wake 2, Dead Space, Hi-Fi Rush, Spider-Man 2, and Resident Evil 4. Best audio design.
I kind of want to give it to Dead Space.
Yeah, I agree.
Just because Dead Space, it's just so damn tense, and the audio design makes it more tense.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, I like it.
Audio design for Dead Space 2. Well, yeah, Mr. Joe in the Dark brings up a point. He says Alan Wake 2 has incredible sound design. It does. It absolutely does. Like, the sound in Alan Wake 2 is incredible,
I haven't played it, so I wouldn't know.
but Dead Space, I guess it's kind of, you could say the same thing for Alan Wake 2. But Dead Space's sound is just so, it's so, I don't know. They're both
Gritty.
real. Yeah, they're both really eerie, and the sound helps dramatically both of the games. But like, I gotta give it to Dead Space 2, just because like, and I feel like I'm giving it to Dead Space 2 based on the environment of Dead Space 2, where it's like an old, decrepit, abandoned, or not abandoned, but just taken over ship. Oh, 1 second, I'll be right back. Can you talk for a second?
Yeah, sure. Yeah, I don't know about Alan Wake too, but I definitely think Dead Space were to win it. I was playing it and just being able to have Isaac talking and whatnot, I thought was really cool as well. But yeah, just the thumping and bass and heaviness of the character, with the sound design involved with that, I thought was excellent. But yeah, I'd have no idea how to rate Alan Wake with that because I've never actually even listened to
Yeah,
that game. Hi-Fi Rush is definitely up there in the top 3 for me on that one as well, because as we just said with the last one, the sound was the whole point of that game, right?
Mhm.
Sound and timing and everything like that. So that's kind of where I hang on that.
Yeah. Mr. Joe in the Dark brings up another point. EA Motive did an incredible job in enhancing the amazing sound in Dead Space, but playing Alan Wake 2 it can go either way. That's kind of how I feel. I feel like whoever wins this, I feel like it, dude. I just looked up and saw Spider-Man 2 there, and I don't get that. I really don't get that. Just audio design, like the level of detail in your audio, I don't see. I don't think of Spider-Man 2.
Yeah, I didn't. Yeah, there was no time in me playing Spider-Man. And I was like, man, the sound in this is incredible. Like, I'm
Yeah.
sure, I'm sure it sounds good and all, but I don't know where to go with that. Like,
Yeah.
I can't tell you any like moment where that is relevant for that game.
Yes.
Where it's like, okay, like what sounds am I looking for it to be like the web spitting sound? Like, I don't know, man.
Exactly. There was nothing in that game that, like, I don't remember a moment in that game where I was like, wow, the sound design right there was really impressive. But yeah, I agree with Mr. Joe in the Dark. I would be upset if it goes to either Alan Wake 2 or Dead Space. I wouldn't even be upset if it goes to Hi-Fi Rush, but I think it's between Alan Wake 2 and Dead Space for this. I think. Um, let's see here. Best performance. I can't really comment on many of these. But best performances: Ben Starr for Final Fantasy 16, Cameron Monaghan for Cal Kestis and Jedi Survivor, Idris Elba for Phantom Liberty, Melanie LeBird for Alan Wake 2, who plays oh my god, why am I blanking on her name? Saga Anderson, and Neil Newbin, Baldur's Gate 3, and Yuri Lowenthal for Peter Parker and Spider-Man 2. So, if you had to guess, out of those, who do you think gets the best performance award?
Me personally, I would give it to Cameron. I did give it to Cameron.
Okay. I'm not mad at that.
I'd
I'm not
easily
mad at
give it to Cameron because he held that role down for a second time, and the things that happened in that game was devastating.
Oh,
And the way that he took it was what was very was like reminded me of like just kind of a stomach wrenching feeling, and I kind of felt that the way that he kind of carried himself in the game, where he was just like where like something tragic would happen, and like you would be like, man, that sucked, and you could see your characters like, man, that sucked.
Yeah.
Like you felt the exact same way as the character that you're playing as. So I thought that was really cool. And I don't know. I don't know. I feel like maybe I'm being a little bit biased because I just like the guy. I think he's a really good actor, really good
Oh yeah, he is.
person all around. So I think he
Yeah,
deserves that. I thought I would think he would deserve it out of this specific list. I mean, Ben Starr did pretty good in Final Fantasy 16. I'll give him his flowers on that. Idris Elba, um, crushing it with Cyberpunk 2077.
yeah.
Um, Peter Parker was pretty good too. I won't lie. You know,
He
he
did a
was
really
pretty
good
good.
job.
But if I'm just talking about like a character that brought the feeling out, I would say Cameron from Star Wars Jedi Survivor.
Okay. For myself, I go again. I don't know if I'm saying her name right. Melanie LeBird for Alan Wake 2. Saga Anderson's character is just fucking phenomenal. Mr. Joanna Dark says Ben Starr's Clive was good. Saga Anderson's my new boo. Saga Anderson is the goat. Yeah, I'm with you there. Saga Anderson was dope. Um, if I had to go second on that list, see, I haven't played Phantom Liberty yet. I haven't gotten to it. I'm like playing through Cyberpunk again. Uh, so I'd probably have to go with Ham on Cameron Monaghan because Jedi Survival was phenomenal. And there were some parts that Ham was alluding to. In fact, I think Ham was in the party with me during like the last hour and a half of that game,
Yeah.
where I was like, "Oh, this is my a certain character in the game was my favorite character." I'm like, "Man, I love this character." And Ham's like, "Oh yeah, really?" And then like 10 minutes later, this something happens to the character. I'm just like, "Ah, God damn it!" And and you could like the way that it was acted by Cameron was very well done. I would be mad to see him win it at all. Innovation and accessibility. This is one I'm not too familiar with, although I do have a pick just based on one thing. But Diablo 4, Forza Motorsport, Hi-Fi Rush, Spider-Man 2, Mortal Kombat 1, and Street Fighter 6. Do you have any thoughts or feelings on what wins innovation and accessibility?
I personally would probably say Forza.
I agree with you. I agree with you. I I go Forza because I saw I forget I feel so bad for forgetting his name, but the dude who's like a really big advocate for accessibility in games, specifically, well, not just in general, but for specifically for blind people because he's a blind gamer. I forget his name, but I think you know who I'm talking about. But he posted a video of himself playing Forza Motors. He's blind. He's playing Forza Motorsport with a racing wheel. I'm like, I don't know what settings you had to put in that into the game to make that possible. To make that like,
I'll be right back.
all right, yeah. But I don't know what settings you put into the game to make that a viable option. But that deserves an award. That definitely deserves an award. Um, Hi-Fi Rush had pretty good accessibility. I feel bad for the and like in this category because I don't take advantage of many of the accessibility features, so I feel like I can't really talk on them. But my pick would definitely be Forza Motorsport. Hi-Fi Rush was good. Spider-Man 2, I know they made a big deal of the accessibility in Spider-Man 2 being really good as well, so that's definitely up there. Diablo 4, I'm not entirely sure what that's there for. Maybe if somebody, like if Mr. Joanna Dark, if you know in the chat what that did, because I genuinely don't know. And Mortal Kombat 1 and Street Fighter 6, I'm not a fighters guy, so I can't really comment on any of those. Games for Impact, this is also one that I really can't comment on because I haven't played any of these games, but just a shout out real quick. Games for Impact, A Space for the Unbound, Chance of the Sinar, Goodbye Volcano High, Chia, Terra Neil, I'm not entirely sure if I'm saying that right, and Venba. Those are the options or the nominees for Games for Impact. And like I said, I haven't played any of these. I'm just gonna go Chia because I've heard of Chia. It was a PlayStation game. I know that. What do you think, man?
I'm gonna say the same. Oh,
Nice.
I mean Venba. Venba is supposed to be that cooking game, I believe.
Okay.
I know that. That's on Xbox. It's like the Indian cooking game, I believe.
Indian cooking game. I've not heard of that, but that's interesting.
Um, Goodbye Volcano High. I've heard good things about, but I've never played it.
Isn't Cozy like really excited for that, or
Yeah,
not excited? I
I'm
can't
actually gonna
remember.
I'm actually gonna go for Goodbye Volcano High.
Hmm.
Just because when Chia came out, I literally heard nobody talking.
The only
All I
time I
heard was
heard,
it was out.
yeah, the only time I heard Chia was like the whole console war thing where people were joking about it. But outside of that, I don't know much about Chia or any of these games. But yeah, I picked Chia based on my very limited knowledge. Best ongoing game. Now this is the one I have opinions on. Apex Legends, Cyberpunk 2077, Final Fantasy 14, Fortnite, and Genshin Impact. Those are your 5 choices for best ongoing game. Now, before we get into like discussing this, out of those, the list given to you there, what do you think wins?
What the hell is that?
Are you all good?
Oh, okay. Um, so I'd say out of the list, I'd say the best ongoing game is probably out of this list. I'd say probably Fortnite.
Okay. I'd probably
I
agree with
hate
that.
that game,
I would probably agree with you, honestly. Because
and I say
Apex.
that because of the resurgence and the kind of like every year they have a big moment. It seems like.
Yeah.
And this year specifically, I mean, if we're using recency, because it seems like this Game Awards has no problem using recency bias at all. I'm gonna go on ahead and say let's just look at what they did with bringing back season 1.
Yeah.
You know what I'm
It's
saying?
huge.
Like that exploded that game back to the number 1 spot all over again, hitting numbers that it's never seen.
Yep.
So
It's nuts. It's massive.
I mean, I'm going off of recency, not going off of what makes sense, because we know that they don't like to go based off of that.
Oh, they don't. They really
Um,
don't.
so I'm just going on based off of what I've recently seen.
Hmm. So I probably will go with Fortnite as well. Just again, Apex Legends is on the downtrend, so I'm not entirely sure why that's there. Cyberpunk doesn't make any sense. I'm never playing Final Fantasy 14. I'm never playing Genshin Impact. I'm really not playing Fortnite, but if you make me pick one from there, Fortnite. Now, what I really want to talk about here is I don't know how you feel, but I feel like there's a game that's missing that could easily take Cyberpunk's place, and that is Halo Infinite. I mean, the resurgence for Halo Infinite. We were in a party with K Mega last night, and I was telling him the only game I could think of that had the turnaround that Halo Infinite is having is No Man's Sky. Outside of No Man's Sky, I can't think of a game that came out, was good, people fell off of it due to a lack of content, a lack of support, and then for years they just keep supporting, and now we're to the point where we are now. And it's an absolute hit. And everything they come out with is an absolute banger. Like I can't remember the last time 343 missed with Halo Infinite. I really can't. So it's like
Even Sea of Thieves.
Sea of Thieves is another one, and didn't Sea of Thieves? In fact, let me see if I can find it. Didn't Sea of Thieves post something a little bit sly on Twitter, kind of making fun of the nominations and how they weren't there?
I heard that they did that, but I didn't. But I don't know what they said.
I'm gonna look it up. Sea of Thieves. Wonder if I can find it. Man. Oh man, how far back is it? No, this dude. I can't find it. I don't know, but I thought I remember seeing something about them kind of poking fun at the fact that they weren't there, which is again kind of funny when you consider the fact that Cyberpunk is there. And no disrespect to Cyberpunk, but it's not a live service, so I don't see how it makes any sense for Cyberpunk to be there. I mean, like, forget if you want to throw Halo or Sea of Thieves. Throw literally anything else besides Cyberpunk in there, because it doesn't deserve to be there, honestly. But yeah, I think Halo 1,000% deserves it. I mean, granted, I am a little bit biased, but Fortnite realistically probably deserves it, and then second would be Halo for me. Uh, I mean, what 343's managed to do is just it's kind of silly considering how far gone the community seemed like it was at one point for this game. So that turnaround is historic. Congrats to 343, but unfortunately you're not nominated, which is bullshit. But yeah, let's see. Wait, did you have any thoughts on what should be in the place of Cyberpunk? Do you think anything should be in the place of Cyberpunk? Do you think Cyberpunk is right at home there?
I'm sorry, say that again.
I said, what do you think should be in the place of Cyberpunk, or do you think Cyberpunk is right at home there?
I mean, I could see Halo being there, but all in all, this doesn't really pick me off as much as it does for you. I mean, I get the whole Cyberpunk thing, but I kind of also get that they still have a lot of players in it, after the DLC dropped and everything. And like I said, this a lot of these award stuff reminds me of Jedi Fallen Order, where it's just like recency just kind of trumps everything. Like I feel like if Tears of the Kingdom came out right next to Alan Wake, it would have been a fucking mess.
I get, like, as in it would have won. It would have just.
I think it would have swept easily. It's just like saying last year if Elden Ring would have launched next to God of War.
Oh yeah, it wouldn't be a contest.
It wouldn't have been good.
Yeah. I mean, you had God of War winning shit that it just didn't deserve, like the best soundtrack. What the fuck?
Yeah, I couldn't tell you a song off of God of War. I couldn't even hum you a beat.
Yep. But I tell you what I do know is the start menu music for Elden Ring. That shit's etched into my mind, and it will be forever.
Man, I remember people making little videos of like the room turning red and the Elden Ring song turning.
Yep.
And it was so funny because it was just like, oh, I get that. I feel.
I 100% know, and I know where that's from, and I feel it. It's like that soundtrack, that song, just that particular song is fucking iconic. But I mean, geez, what else we got here? We're gonna just dive through the rest of these really quick, because these ones I don't know. I don't think we care too much about these. Best community support. This one's kind of funny. Baldur's Gate 3, Cyberpunk 2077, Destiny 2. I mean, Final Fantasy 14, and No Man's Sky. What do you think wins best community support?
I would say probably Baldur's Gate 3 win, because the community really hopped on that one and like helped make sure everybody knew that it was phenomenal.
Yeah, I would go with Baldur's Gate 3.
Second place, I would give to probably No Man's Sky, and I give the credit to Starfield.
Oh yeah, a lot of people rallied around No Man's Sky.
Yeah, they did. So it's funny seeing that it's here because I don't think if Starfield would have came out this year, this would even be mentioned.
No, I don't think so.
Um, but yeah, the one that is fucking just jaw dropping is Destiny. I mean, stop it.
Everyone,
Are we trolling now? Is that what we're doing? Are we
everyone
trolling?
hates Destiny, and it's just sitting there. It's just sitting there. Like, thank you for your unwavering support. And
Facts.
it's like nobody's supporting that right now. And it's so funny that this comes out like we get these nominees like after like 3 weeks of Bungie just pooping themselves consistently.
Right.
And I don't know. I again don't. Hey, I'm just here for the announcements. That's all I'm here for. And that solidifies it. Best indie game, Cocoon. Oh, I agree. By the way, Baldur's Gate 3 takes community support. Best independent game, Cocoon, Day of the Diver, Dredge, Sea of Stars, Viewfinder. What do you think wins out of those?
What I'd like to see win is Cocoon. What I think is going to win is Sea of Star.
Okay, I still need to try Cocoon. But I think Sea of Stars wins. In fact, I'm surprised that Sea of Stars wasn't on Game of the Year in place of something like Resident Evil. And that's not based on me liking it or caring about it, because I really don't. But just the way people talked about it, the way it was rated, I'm surprised a remake got its spot. I don't know. Just me. But yeah, I agree with that. I think it's Sea of Stars is going to take it. Best debut indie game. Cocoon is in here. Dredge, Pizza Tower, Venba, and Viewfinder.
Cocoon for me.
Cocoon. All right. I'm going to defer to you and go Cocoon because I don't know anything about anything else there. I'm skipping best mobile game. I don't give a shit about the best mobile game.
Yeah, I wouldn't even know what to pick.
Yeah. Best VR AR game. Gran Turismo 7, Humanity, Horizon, Call of the Mountain, Resident Evil Village VR mode, and Synapse. What do you think wins?
I would probably say Resident Evil probably should win. I think Call of the Mountain's probably going to win. Either that or GT7. And hey, I think GT7 probably should win, but it's kind of I'm having trouble making it make sense a little. And that's why I'm not giving it the nod to win because honestly, I'd probably want that game to win if it made a little bit more sense. What I mean by that is Gran Turismo 7, the game came out in 2022.
Yeah.
You're putting it in nomination because a headset decided to come out.
Yep.
Not because it's a new game. If this game if Gran Turismo 7 dropped on PC and the VR and the PlayStation VR 2 was accessible on PC, first of all, you wouldn't even need the PlayStation VR 2. And then this game could have been counted last year, and it would into my opinion, I think it would have made sense, right? Because the game came out that year.
Yeah.
You add the VR aspect to it, but it's really just it's just the same game. I don't know. To me, it just doesn't kind of add up correct because just because you, as the first party platform, decided to wall it off from other VR people to be able to play, even though you do have PlayStation games on PC, to me is just I don't know. It kind of seemed like a cheap way to get into that reward conversation.
Yeah, I can see that. I would agree though that Resident Evil wins it. Because Resident Evil in VR just seems like really, really cool. I also know at some point they're supposed to be doing Resident Evil 4 in VR. Whenever that's supposed to happen. That seems cool. Gran Turismo seems like it would be the most interested in. But like you pointed out, the headset releasing this year shouldn't give Gran Turismo a nod just because I don't know. That's not how it should work. But I would go Resident Evil Village for sure. If Horizon called them, well, I don't know. I can't speak on it because I never played any of these. But I think it would be funny if Horizon called them out one. Say that much. Best action game: Armor Core 6, Dead Island 2, Ghost Runner 2, Hi-Fi Rush, and Remnant 2. That's actually a pretty damn good list. Out of those, what do you think wins?
Let's see, best action game. I'd probably go with. I haven't played Armored Core, so I'm gonna put that out there. But personally, of the games that I have played, I'd put Remnant 2.
Okay.
Just because the action in that game is pretty nuts, and it's so many different types of ways to kind of. I felt like it was crazy going from like fighting traditional kind of enemies to now I'm trying not to have a rock fall on me that's like a big old piece of stone is like chasing me down a hallway, and I'm like, what the fuck? And then all of a sudden I'm going versus a boss, and the boss is blocks flipping and shit like that.
That fucking boss, I'll tell you what. That
And
boss
yeah,
stinks.
I tell you, like I just thought it was really creative in a lot of different ways with their action. So I'd say that one personally.
Okay.
What will probably win? What will probably win is Armored Core 6.
Armored Core 6.
I also wouldn't mind seeing Dead Island 2 win though too, because that game is pretty good, but I don't know.
Yeah. I see this list and I go Dead Island 2. I go Dead Island 2. I got 3 games there I'd like to see win. Dead Island 2, Remnant 2, Hi-Fi Rush. I haven't played Ghost Runner 2. It looks great. I'm sure it's amazing. Armor Core 6 again looks great. I'm sure it's amazing. I haven't played them. But I out of these I go Dead Island 2 first, personally. Uh best action adventure game. This is basically just the game of the year. Alan Wake 2, Spider-Man 2, Resident Evil 4. Oh, Star Wars Jedi Survivor gets in there. Legend of Zelda Tears of the Kingdom. What do you think wins? Action adventure.
I'd give this one to Spider-Man.
Oh wow, okay, nice. I was
I'd give this
expecting you to
one
say
to
Star
Spider-Man
Wars.
because the if we're going based off of the title, action and adventure, Spider-Man handled that really well. And I mean, I'd say
It
Star
did.
Wars Survivor handled that really well as well. In my opinion, the story was better in Jedi Survivor than Spider-Man 2, and it made more sense. Like the story, once I seen what Mary Jane was doing in that game, I was like, all right.
Mary Jane's
Oh,
basically Sam Fisher in that game.
she,
She's out of her mind.
she is Mission Impossible, and she makes it possible. Oh my goodness, it was crazy. Just seeing what she did off of that motorcycle, I was just like,
Right?
okay, we're done. Like wrap this mother. I said wrap that shit up, B. like this shit is crazy. You are
She's
doing too much.
she's
This
an action
person,
star. She's a
this
fucking spy.
person looks like a goddamn DC character. Fucking like this shit. Like I know it's Marvel, but I'm just saying it reminds me of like what was that dude? I think his name was like Deadshot or something like that.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Reminds me of that
Deadshot.
dude just hopping off the bike with a gun. It's just, oh man, like I said the same thing I said about Princess Peach. That girl don't need no man. I don't understand.
No, she's saving the
Who's
city. Ain't
saving who?
Spider-Man.
Who is saving who?
It ain't Spider-Man in
Yeah.
that situation. No, it's not. I mean, yeah, I would go. God,
Whoops.
like I want to say Alan Wake 2 just because I want to see it win an award, but action adventure, I don't think it. Like it's got action in it and it does have an adventure, but it's not. That's I go Star Wars. I'm going Star Wars Jedi Survivor, best action adventure game. Uh, for me personally, just again solely action and adventure. Star Wars fucking nailed it.
Yeah,
But
I mean, their adventure aspect was pretty dope. Can't lie.
yes, very much so. Best RPG. This is another silly category here. Baldur's Gate 3, Final Fantasy 16, Lies of P, Sea of Stars, and Starfield. Starfield finally mentioned on in these nominees here. What do you think wins best RPG?
They're gonna give it to Baldur's Gate
Yep,
3, and if they
100%.
don't, and if they don't, it's insane in my opinion.
Yeah,
Because, just because I'm not gonna lie, as much as I want to say Starfield, I just think as for RPG, it seems like Baldur's Gate just has more options as to where there are some moments in Starfield where I was just like, man, I really wish they would have let me do this. They would have let
sure.
me romance this person. Like one of the people I met at God, what's that group called?
Is it the Red Mile?
No.
Okay, because I was about to say I met a chick there. I'm like, why can't I romance this chick?
Yeah, I know what chick you're talking about.
Yeah,
But no, I'm talking about the chick from dang, I'm trying to Ryujin.
Ryujin.
Yeah,
Okay, I need to
there's
finish
a
that
chick
quest line.
from Ryujin that I'm just like, yo, you are real nice. And I'm all
Yeah,
trying to butter her up and everything, and then I figure out that I can't even do nothing
yeah,
with her. So I was just like, it is kind of crappy in the moment that I was just like, man, I really wish I could have had that.
yeah. That's one of those things we need to get ASAP. I know there's mods on PC, but we need to. That's something Bethesda needs to be doing themselves. But we need to get mods on console so that we can start doing we could start having more romance options like that, or maybe make characters romanceable or something. Because there's like a few characters I ran into. I'm like, you can't romance this character. Like even the dialogue you guys got with each other, you can't romance them because it just seems like the logical conclusion for those relationships. But I don't know. That's just me. I agree with you though. I think it's Baldur's Gate 3. I would love to see Starfield win, but it's just I mean I don't think it has a shot. As much as I would prefer to play Starfield over Baldur's Gate,
100%.
so many people would say otherwise. And so I think it's quite easy Baldur's Gate 3 is going to win best RPG. I'll tell you what would be funny if Jeff Keighley walked out on stage and gave it to Liza P. Just gave it to Liza P. and then just walked off. He didn't even explain himself. He doesn't even hand over the award. He just says Liza P. and then walks off. I feel like that would
If
be
Liza wins that, then I think we need to change what RPG means.
right. Because it's an RPG in the loosest term of like you're playing the role of Pinocchio. But if you're doing that, then literally every game's an RPG. You're playing the role of Peter Parker. It's like, okay. I mean, what are we doing? But best fighting game, I don't got anything in this category because I'm not much into fighters. But God of Rock, I don't even know what that is. Mortal Kombat 1, Nickelodeon All Star Brawl 2. I didn't even know the second one released. Pocket Bravery, Street Fighter 6. What do you think wins out of those?
I'm gonna give it to Street Fighter 6 because I'm not into Street Fighter or whatnot, but I played that game. I got it purchased for me as a gift from somebody, and I put more time into it than I thought I would. I mean, I didn't put a crazy amount. I didn't put like days into it or anything, 'cause
Yeah.
I'm not into those kind of games like that. But the story was the story mode of it was very innovative. And keep in mind, man, like Street Fighter Five was bad.
Oh, okay.
So like for them to come back with six and making a resurgence as much as they did and get like in the 90s for that game, that's not something just to look past. I think
Yeah.
it deserves it because it brought back Street Fighter where it seemed like Street Fighter was going to die.
Okay. This is a category I defer to you because not Street, but like fighters in general is just not really my thing. So I'm gonna go
Me
Street
neither,
Fighter.
but
I'm gonna go Street Fighter
I
Six.
play a little bit more. But I do play more of them than you do.
Yeah, definitely. So I defer to you on that. Street Fighter Six is the game. I'm skipping these next because there's a bunch of here that I just don't care about. Best sports slash racing, which is a funny category in and of itself. EA Sports FC 24, F1 23, Forza Motorsport, Hot Wheels Unleashed 2, and the Crew Motorfest. What do you think wins? Best sports slash racing.
Um, what should win, in my opinion, is Forza. What
Okay.
probably will win is EA Sports FC 20.
Okay. I I I say Forza just because I don't like. Is EA Sports FC like really well received? Because I have no idea.
It's FIFA.
True, it's FIFA, but it's like, but the thing with FIFA, I don't know. I don't know. You're probably right. You're probably
The
right.
only reason I say that is because they slapped a new name on it and looks different.
Yeah, I hope Motorsport wins.
Me too.
I wouldn't even be upset if Crew Motorfest won just because of how big of a step up that is from Crew 2 because Crew 2 stunk
Yeah.
bad. Motorfest is actually pretty damn good, but I prefer to see Motorsport win that honestly. Best multiplayer, we'll go through this one real quick. Baldur's Gate 3, Diablo 4, Party Animals, Street Fighter 6, Super Mario Brothers, Wonder. What do you got?
Um, best multiplayer. I definitely have to go with Diablo.
Same here, bud. 100% on that.
Why is Baldur's Gate even there?
I see. I don't know. It's one
Like
of
I
the.
don't get like sometimes I feel like they're just shoving shit places that it doesn't even belong.
Yeah,
Like Diablo 4 is clearly better of a multiplayer experience in my opinion.
I
Um
agree.
I mean, I feel like if I just sat here and thought for a few minutes I'd be able to find several better multiplayer games. I mean, hell, Call of Duty is a better multiplayer game than that. The one that
Definitely
just
is.
came out. Um, yeah, man. Uh, Remnant's better multiplayer in my opinion than Baldur's Gate. Like
Yeah,
I don't know. Like even Atlas Fallen. I'm sorry. Like I don't know. Maybe I'm crazy. Maybe I need to play Baldur's Gate multiplayer. But one thing I can tell you is I haven't heard anybody talk about it.
yeah. I don't see people raving about the multiplayer. In fact, what's I'm gonna say this real quick. The only thing I see people raving about in terms of Baldur's Gate, and I'm not even shitting you, is the fact that you can have sex with literally anything. That's it. That's like, according to the community, that's the big selling point. And I'm sure I'm sure it's a very deep RPG. I'm sure it has a lot of really cool things in there. But it's just like if I log on Twitter, it's like, oh, you can have sex with a bear. You can have sex with this woman and that man. I'm like, dude, but is like, what about the game? What the game? I mean, that's not the game. That's not the whole game, is it? Um, let's see.
Sex simulator.
Right. Mr. Joanna Dark says most people did not get to Act 2 or 3 in Baldur's Gate 3. Many only played the first act. And I wouldn't doubt it. Especially, like, Baldur's Gate releasing on console. I'm not entirely sure. I believe it's the first time Baldur's Gate is released on console. Like, there's a lot of people, especially when it comes to Xbox as well, where they're gonna see the reviews for that, and they're gonna off the hype buy Baldur's Gate 3. They're gonna play that first part of the first act, and they're gonna be like, dude, this shit is boring. And they're just gonna have, like, if you're on PlayStation, you just have that game now. You're not getting that money. You just got that now. So it's like, I I don't know. I feel like Baldur's Gate 3 shouldn't. I mean, best multiplayer doesn't make any sense. Diablo 4 for me easy, and it's not really close. Uh, I'd even put Dead Island on that list above Baldur's Gate 3.
Yeah,
I'd put Dead Island there. Uh,
I agree.
Buster John Dark corrects me. He says the original Baldur's Gate has been on PS4 and Switch and Xbox. I did not know that. I thought this was the first time they come to console. That is my fault. But yeah, I mean, see if there's anything else here we need to talk about. I ain't talking about this esports shit. I don't care. I don't care about the best esports coach.
What I thought was funny as the best esports coach is that dude Remy XTQZZZ. He told them to take him off the list because he wasn't even coaching.
Oh wow, so they put a lot of thought into it. That's nice.
Yeah.
That's good. That's good to hear. Honestly, then
nominating shit.
right, then he's my pick. He's my pick to win esports coach of the year. Honestly, I hope he wins it. Shout out to Remy. But yeah, I mean that's the end of our long topic. I mean, is there anything you want to talk about before we get out of here? Because I did want to talk about a little bit about Halo, but I gave my thoughts on Halo. I think it's amazing. But is there anything else?
I'm all set. I think I'm all set actually. I mean, other than this, there's not too terribly much to talk about. And I don't want to just be talking, take people's time. So
I'm with you on that.
I'm ready to get going.
All right, man. Well, let's get into the outros. Let them know where they can find you, bud.
Yeah, you can find me at this channel every Wednesday, but for my own channel, it's TSWS Gaming here on
link
YouTube.
in the description.
Yeah, thank you. TSWS Gaming here on YouTube. I also am on K Mega's channel every Friday for GRG podcasts at 8 p.m. Central, 9 p.m. Eastern. You can check me out over there as well. And then on Twitter at Hamsolo05.
It's nice. Check them out. As for myself, find me here obviously every Wednesday at 2 p.m. Eastern with Ham Solo for the Two Player Podcast. And then on Mondays and Fridays, videos at 11 a.m. Eastern. Check those out here on the channel. I'm on Ham Show for Bullsitting on Fridays at 4 p.m. Eastern. Then on Sundays, I do the Game Drain with Mike, Ham, and my buddy Twan. And that's over on the Game Drain on YouTube. So check that out. Sundays at 8 p.m. Eastern. And that is where you can find me. Oh, Twitter as well, at Matt Likes Games. So check me out there. Follow me. Do whatever you want to do. But that's where you can find me. And with that being said, thank you all for watching. It's much appreciated. Chat was active. It's very much appreciated. But we will see y'all next week. Peace.